Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host, Advocate Tulo Hoyane. This afternoon, I would like to look at the economic freedom fighters, the EFF, Julius Malema's EFF. Just what is happening to the EFF? You'll recall that between 2019 and 2024, the EFF was the third largest party in South Africa. It was the ANC in first position, followed by the DA, and the EFF was third. When campaigning really, got busy and it heated up, we saw the EFF draw thousands and thousands of people to their rallies. And everybody was shocked. Or everybody was saying, the EFF is going to perform much better than what it did it's going to put up a better performance than the performance that it had put up in 2019. Stadiums like FNB were overflowing with what they called the Red Army. The EFF seemed like, it was on its way to the top. And I think at some stage, Julius Malema must have, seriously entertained thoughts of being the president of South Africa. But come the May elections, we saw a totally different outcome from, what we had seen from the rallies. If the rallies are anything to go by, you could have safely predicted that, the EFF would have come out, neck and neck with the ANC, or at least in a comfortable second position. The elections have come and gone. And where is the EFF? The EFF is at position 4. That's what is going on here. Where are those thousands and thousands of people that we saw flock to, EFF rallies and fill up stadiums and other, venues? Where are those people? Did they just suddenly decide not to vote EFF on election day? Well, we might never know. But let us just look at the politics of the EFF. I think one of the biggest disadvantages of the EFF is brazenly confrontational style of politics. Julius Malema's style of calling a spade, theoretically it is the right thing to call a spade. But sometimes you've got to, if you're a political leader, you've got to, your language must be measured. You cannot just, recklessly say whatever you feel like saying at any given time, And Malema is seen to be, a highly controversial figure who's also confrontational. He's, on record as being anti-white, for instance, And all this, rhetoric that we see him bending about does not seem to be working for the party. If his rhetoric was working, then the party should have done better in the May elections, should have got more support, not lost more support. But the fact that we see people moving away from the EFF, it means Malema is no longer connecting with his, core support. A lot of black people, because I think there are no whites, there are no whites to talk of in the EFF. A lot of black people are turning are turning away from the EFF because they are not comfortable with that confrontational style of his, and sometimes the men can be outright arrogant, so people are not. They don't expect those sort of qualities to come out of a leader, a potential, or somebody who has the potential to become the president of South Africa, or who aspires to be the president of South Africa. I think Julius must tone down his language. And also the confrontational, stance that we saw in Parliament, the disruptive behavior that we saw in Parliament, that just did not work. People don't elect you to go to Parliament only for you disrupt parliamentary proceedings and make no meaningful impact on the proceedings of parliament, except to be disruptive and, to be seen everywhere to be, a force for chaos, really, a chaos for chaos, really. Now, after the departure of Sibambu, so many other people have left the EFF. The EFF is on the ropes. It is really on the ropes because it is now, losing key people who were in key leadership positions. Mukweban is the latest person to quit. So the EFF is really, you might say jokingly, that it is in intensive care and needs to be attended to urgently by those in positions of leadership. My advice to Julius is tone down your language. Accept the reality that investor confidence is important for any country. Accept the realities of South African life. Don't dream of a South Africa that does not exist. Acknowledge the reality on the ground. Tone down your language and things might just turn out for you, and there might be an improvement in the long if you do that. But if you don't, you are just on a trajectory to the bottom. You are at position 4 now. You better do something about this urgently. Having said that, let me thank you for watching this video, and I'm very encouraged by the views that are coming in. I want to see the views roll into their thousands and so on. The subscriptions are coming in. I'm now standing at 100 subscribers, going for 1,000 subscribers. Please kindly subscribe and have a nice weekend.